Yertle, everybody. This is just kind of like an update video because I found out some things and ran that artifact deck a little bit, and I've discovered that I needed to make some changes. The very first thing I discovered is that it was missing the ability to ramp in to doing the whole time sieve thing, which is, if you didn't see the first video, I wanted to do a time sieve combo where I could basically take endless turns. Time sieve is an artifact that allows me to sacrifice 5 artifacts, tap it, and take an extra turn. And since I was struggling in my little test runs to make it happen, and then I actually did play a round or two, and it just was not popping off strong, and I had a lot of cards. I was just getting stuck with a lot of high cost cards, and it was just wound up being a mess. But that's why we do these test runs, right? So what ended up happening is I was like, I gotta get some different cards. So I got a few cards. I went and found a few cards online that I was like, that'll do the trick. And I went and picked them up from the shop. And while I was there, people that are way more educated than I am enlightened me to a few facts. Fact number 1: this card, Tinker. And if y'all saw the first video and you saw me putting this in the deck, and y'all are educated unlike me, y'all knew that I was being a dummy. And that this card is illegal. 'Tis banned across the board. There's not a set that allows this one because of how broken it is. And if you're reading it, you can see it's stupid broken, especially if you're running an entire artifact deck. I mean, almost every creature I had, I could literally just pay 3, sacrifice one of my little rinky-dink Thopters that I'm pooping out all day, and say, hey, search my deck, and flop a big fat flying willy-dilly all up on you. And so can't do that. Can't do that. I was getting a little lost where I was putting that. So that had to be removed. And what really sucks is that before I got to the card shop, I thought they were just fine in Legacy because I didn't do my research. Again, dummy. And got there, already bought 3 of them to make a full set because I was like, they're going to be the business. And he was just like, oh, those are illegal. And I was like, wow, well, I already paid for them. And he was like, oh, tough break. So I don't get to use those, right? And then some other cards I took out of the deck. I had the 0 cost artifact that was indestructible that I was just going to use as a bounce for the Master Transmuter. And if you don't know what Master Transmuter is, it's a 4 cost regular artifact creature, blue, 1 blue, 3 colorless, that allows me to, once she's on the field, pay 1 blue, tap her, return an artifact to my hand, and then put an artifact from my hand into play. Like a equal trade, except for definitely not equal because 0 cost will pop up and like a 6 cost can go down, right? But I also found out that there are way better 0 cost artifacts to put in other than a useless hockey puck. So we're gonna keep the hockey puck out. Next thing is that I had 3 Thopter assemblies in the deck and 6 cost to get that move a rolling, you know what I mean? And having 3 of them in there, not conducive for me to try and make that happen. So we took 1 of those out, and it's going to be permanent out. And then Prototype Portal, I mean, as I was playing it, I was realizing that unless I'm going to pay the mana cost, imprint an artifact, and make the copy all in 1 turn, it's kind of wasted space. I just like wound up never playing it every time I ran it. Even when I had a game that was 3v all and I had plenty of time to build up mana and do stuff, I still just never, I was like, ah, man, serves me no purpose. So those are the ones that are out permanently. And then these are the ones that popped out and wound up in the sideboard. Bringer of the White Dawn, 9 cost, and just, you know, wound up being way too high too often for me to end up playing. And I'm not running 5 colors, so that was that makes this card like way easier to cast, obviously. But since I'm not real urgent, obviously, if I'm playing a longer game, he'll wind up pretty cool, especially if I'm taking multiple turns, you know what I mean? I can put him down, he'll have his sickness, and then the upkeep will come on my extra turn, and then I get to bring back artifacts, so he'll be cool keeping him in the sideboard. Then, this is a card one of the cards I went to the shop and bought. It's Phyrexian Rebirth. Destroy all creatures, then put an XX colorless horror artifact creature token onto the battlefield, where X is the number of creatures destroyed this way. Whew, buddy. So needed some board wipe, found that out. I had nothing to really remove creatures, so I figured that was a good move. And then another board wipe card, but in a different fashion. Time wipe, 5 cost, and I get to return a creature I control to my hand and destroy all creatures. Also cool, 2 of those. This is the sideboard, like I said. I removed the riot control because, again, circumstantial. The way the deck runs, the goal is to not really need to take control in a non-creature way. I'm gonna dump, and then I'm gonna take a bunch of turns, and I'm just gonna keep you from really doing anything in that fashion. Also, the Thopter Foundry, you'll see in a second, but I am introducing an entirely new combo that's gonna allow me to just gain life like crazy. So that leads me to why I took this out. I was using this to look at the top card of my library and bounce it if I didn't need it, and then, gain 2 life every upkeep or lose 1 life from each opponent. I mean, it was cool, but again, sideboard worthy for sure, if I'm playing a longer game. And then took out 1 Nim Death Mantle because I didn't find myself using it as often as I probably could have. It really didn't find myself using it at all because I'm not bringing back a token, obviously, and I'm making a lot of tokens. So I still got 1 in there, and then Darksteel Forge, 9 cost. You know what I mean? If I'm 1v1, 9 cost is a hard sell to have in your deck. So sideboarded it for if I'm playing anything over top of that. Now this is one of those cards that I bought for the deck that I put 3 in, and I put 1 in the sideboard. This is a 0 cost artifact to replace that Darksteel Hockey Puck, and it enters the battlefield with a charge counter for each time it was kicked. I can kick it as many times as I pay 2, which is pretty cool, and it'll tap for a colorless mana equal to the amount of charge counters on it. So if I kick it, 2, 4, 6, I can tap for 3 mana. Real dope. And then if I don't want to do that, it can just be that 0 drop for me to bounce with Master Transmuter and put down whatever the hell I want. Now this is where the Thopter Foundry combo comes in. It's a 2 cost artifact, and screw the +1/+2 and the equip. We're not here for that. What we're here for is whenever a 1/1 creature enters the battlefield under my control, I may return Sword of the Meek from my graveyard to the battlefield and then attach it to that creature. That's amazing because if it's in the graveyard, right, how am I putting it in the graveyard? I'm probably going to feed it to Thopter Foundry because I pay 1, sacrifice a non-token artifact, i.e. this, create a 1/1 blue Thopter artifact creature token with flying, and then I gain 1 life. Well, a 1/1 just entered the battlefield when I did that. What's that mean? This thing comes right back, and then I just do it again immediately. Sacrifice this, make another 1/1, put it in the graveyard, bring it right back. Infinite combo for as much mana as I have, and I'll gain as much life as I do that for, and then I'm creating them Thopters to feed to the time sieve so I can take extra turns, and if I'm taking extra turns, y'all know what's up. I'm just gonna keep smacking you good and hard. So that's why that's coming in, and that's the combo, and I'm excited for it if you can't tell. This is another 0 drop artifact, but I'm putting it in the sideboard because it's really only going to come in useful if I'm playing against somebody who's trying to come at me from their graveyard. So it's in there, it's there, it's available, it's ready. And then this one I thought was just dank. And it was an expensive card, and I bought 1, and I put it in the sideboard because I just, again, need board wipe, and that's really good for an artifact deck because I tap it, sacrifice it, and destroy all permanents except for artifacts and lands, and I play that ability only during my upkeep. I can't do it as an instant or anything like that, but it's still amazing because I get to keep my stuff and then bring her the White Dawn. So that's the sideboard. And then just get to this real quick. I took out one of the tri-lands so I could put in 1 more of the Tomb of the Spirit Dragon because taps for a colorless, and then I may pay 2, tap it, and then gain 1 life for each colorless creature I control, and that's saucy, and I like it, so I'm happy about it. And then here's what's getting added. We're adding 1 more Thopter Foundry for a total of 3. We are going to add 1, 2, 3 Master Transmuters for a total of 4 because I really would much rather pay 1 mana and remove a 0 cost or a cheaper cost artifact and put down heavy hitters. It just makes sense, doesn't it? And then sort of the Meek, like I just explained. 1, 2, 3 of them boys going in. And then the Everflowing Chalice. 0 drop for that Master Transmuter and a 1, 2, 3 of them boys going in. Oh, we're happy about it. We're very happy about it. And that's it. I just wanted to update you because I made that deck and I was making a lot of mistakes in that video when I was explaining everything. Door of Destinies, like you saw, cannot use Door of Destiny for artifact creatures, quote unquote. Gotta be the subtype, you know. So when it says creature in the left-hand side of the thing, and then on the right it says the type, that's the part that mattered. There was one other card that I was like wondering if I could use stuff. Oh, Cage Sun, because I was thinking about using Cage Sun, but I can't claim colorless, and that would have been a waste of my time. So couldn't do that either. So that's the changes. I'm real excited. I got 2 chances to do my Endless Turn combo in this deck. I'm sad that I bought Tinkers for no reason, but I'm happier that I got to talk to the dude at the comic book store or the card shop and really set me straight because I'm a novice. I really am. I just love the game. I'm in it for the love of the game. So hope y'all are too, and I hope you enjoy these videos, and I'm definitely going to have more coming soon. I also have a plan, and let me know if y'all are interested in doing anything like this. I want to start doing what's called like decks on a budget kind of thing, and since I love building decks and I like doing it on video for y'all, I want to build like $20, $30 decks, perfectly functioning, and I'm going to do all the research, and I'll actually do like straight research and look up combos and stuff like that, because I usually don't do that. I try and look up cards and then get an idea, and it's kind of fun to me to like just figure out the combos on my own, but I think I'm going to steer away from that. Here's why. Everybody's already figured out the combos. Like, they're online for me. If I like want to figure out, if I want to like say, how can I take an endless amount of turns, or if I want an infinite combo to do, if I want to figure out how to constantly trigger enter the battlefield on one thing, I know that exists out there too, and things like that, they're already figured out. Why am I about to remake the wheel? Screw that. So back to what I was talking about. Decks on a budget. I'm gonna build like $20 or $30 decks. I'll build them on video, and after I build them, I'm gonna put them up for sale. You know what I mean? For people who are trying to get in. You know what I mean? Trying to get started in Magic but don't really know what to do, don't really know how to get at it, and I can do the video on it, kind of explain what I did and how I made it, and show you the concept of the deck, and then put it up for you to buy. And like I said, 20, 30 bucks, you know, crazy decks are going for hundreds of dollars, and then like even this deck, I consider this a cheaper deck, but I probably spent like 70 bucks or more on it, you know, and if I can help people get started for cheaper or the same price as like an event deck, but like I'll build you a nice cool concept based on like some legacy cards or stuff that you're not going to be able to just go to a Walmart and buy like that, you know, why not? Give you some cool concepts. Also, I'll take ideas, you know what I mean? Like if you watch the channel and you hear me talking about this, or once I start doing it, you see I'm doing that, and you like, hey, kind of want to get into it, and I had an idea to build a deck that's based around this creature or this idea or whatever. I'll go ahead and build it for you. You know what I mean? I'll figure it all out. I'll put it all together and boom, because that's like one of my favorite things to do about this hobby. So just wanted to throw that there at the end. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, I love you. Peace out.